All right, let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're breaking down exactly how to truly connect with your budgie, pulling directly from the wildly popular guide by Budgie Psychology. If you've ever felt that frustrating disconnect with your feathered friend, or honestly, if you just want to ensure you're giving them the absolute best life possible, well, you're exactly where you need to be. But before we get into the how-tos, we've got to ask a pretty fascinating question. How does a bird actually understand love? To figure that out, we literally have to throw our human-centric view of affection right out the window. We need to step inside the mind of a small prey animal whose entire instinctual wiring is set to survival mode. And just to put things into perspective, look at this number, 136,692. In just a few short weeks, over 136,000 people sought out this exact information. That's huge. It shows us there's this massive community of owners out there who are desperately trying to fix a stressful relationship with a scared or biting bird, and they want to replace all that anxiety with real mutual trust. To build that trust, we'll be walking through a daily checklist of habits today. Understanding your budgie, the power of voice, establishing a greeting ritual, the art of doing nothing, consent and safe touch, and finally, building a lifelong bond. So let's kick things off with step 1. Understanding your budgie and bridging the communication gap. Right off the bat, there is this fundamental friction between how we humans naturally show affection and how a budgie actually receives it. Think about it. Our human love language is usually all about hugging, holding tightly, being loud, and showing towering excitement. But forcing that onto a prey animal, that's exactly what triggers their fear and biting. Their love language is literally the exact opposite. It's all about personal space, a predictable routine, soft vocalizations, and just quiet observation. Basically, we have to adapt our behavior to fit their world, not the other way around. That brings us to section 2, the power of voice. Talk to them. This is where we get into our first actionable daily habit, intentionally using your voice to establish safety. You see, sudden, loud noises instantly trigger a flight response. Instead, you want to rely on 3 simple steps every single day to soothe their little nervous systems. Speak softly to avoid startling them, maintain a calm, soothing tone, and talk to them consistently throughout the day. You're basically aiming to become this pleasant, predictable background noise that builds a baseline of absolute trust. Moving right along to section 3, establish a greeting ritual because consistency is key. Now, we can actually take that calm voice and turn it into a totally dependable anchor. Because budgies are prey animals, establishing a daily ritual is, well, it's profound. By greeting them first thing every single morning with the exact same cheerful phrase and approaching their cage calmly and slowly, you completely remove the anxiety of the unknown. Make this interaction a reliable daily event. When they know exactly what you're going to do, that's when they feel safe. Next up is section 4, the art of doing nothing. Sit near them. Okay, I know this habit might sound completely counterintuitive, especially when we just want to actively play with our pets right away, but doing absolutely nothing requires immense patience. It's a progression. On day 1, maybe you just sit across the room reading a book. Then by day 3, you move a chair next to the cage. And by day 7, you might sit close with the cage door actually open. You are actively proving to them day by day that your sheer presence does not equal a threat. Which leads us to section 5, consent and safe touch. Touch only the places they've chosen. It's only after that solid foundation of trust is built that we can finally move to the most delicate phase, physical contact and the absolute necessity of consent. Now, consent-based touch means interacting physically with an animal only in the specific ways and areas they have explicitly allowed, and this is crucial, immediately retreating if they show any signs of stress or fear. A biting bird is almost always a bird whose boundaries have been repeatedly ignored. We absolutely have to wait for them to set the terms of engagement. So, practically speaking, this means you touch only the specific places they have chosen and allowed. That's it. Maybe it's just a quick, light scratch on the cheek, or maybe it's letting them step onto a single finger. Keeping your physical affection strictly limited to these designated safe zones is the ultimate way to respect your budgie, and honestly, it's the best way to completely prevent their fear response. And finally, section 6, building a lifelong bond, the ultimate love language. When we pull all of these amazing insights together, we can really see that winning your bird's affection isn't about one grand, sweeping gesture. No way. It is an equal, perfectly balanced daily commitment to their specific psychological needs. It's an even mix. 25% vocalizing calmly, 25% predictable rituals. Patient observation takes up another quarter, and the final piece is strictly consent-based touch. It all really boils down to this simple, powerful quote. Do these things daily, and your budgie will know you love them. By successfully translating our intense human emotions into these structured, bird-friendly actions, we are finally speaking a language they can actually understand and, more importantly, trust. So I want to leave you with this to consider. Which of these daily habits are you going to start using to bridge the gap with your bird today? Will it be establishing that predictable morning greeting? Or maybe practicing the art of just sitting quietly nearby? I really hope this explainer leaves you feeling empowered to rethink your interactions and to go out and build a deeply connected bond with your pet that lasts a lifetime.